Now let's talk about जिसकी सबसे ज्यादा hype है in India, IIT से सीधा 4 crore offer. So why do you think people pay a lot by working for quant companies, hedge funds और high trading firms? तो क्या reason क्या है कि इनके पास पैसा ज्यादा है and why they are able to pay more as compared to the man companies? लोग काफी काफी आर्टिकल्स आते हैं, लोग फेसबुक माइक्रोसॉफ्ट छोड़ के इनके पास जा रहे हैं because how lucrative their offers are.
So I think, Harnoor, both, well, all the industry is a very cyclical industry. मतलब एक चीज चलेगी, फिर it will come down, then it will go up. तो टेक्नोलॉजी का भी ऐसा ही रहा है कि Mang, as you would know, in 2020 and 2021 was paying really good salaries, very competitive salaries, and people were actually moving from even quant research roles into going and doing into data science with Mang. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि वन कंपनी पेज एंड जो एक हम ऑफर की बात करेंगे या दो ऑफर की बात करेंगे, दैट वुड बी एन आउटलायर माने माने कि इट्स आउटसाइड ऑफ योर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, अ लिटिल बिट, थोड़ा सा दूर है. सो मेजॉरिटी आप अगर बात करेंगे मीडियन की, तो टेक्नोलॉजी एंड फाइनेंस आर ऑलमोस्ट एट पार, at least right now with where we are in the market. And median meaning ki maximum jo janta hai wo, how lucrative it is for them. So I would say it is almost at par. Now why do they pay more? Because number one, it's a very niche skill set. इट्स नॉट कि आप हर किसी को स्टोकेस्टिक कैलकुलस आता होगा, हर किसी को पाइथन प्रोग्रामिंग टू दैट एक्सटेंट आती होगी, हर किसी को सी प्लस प्लस इतना लो लेटेंसी करना आता होगा. सो इट्स अ वेरी नीश स्किल सेट विच इज डिफिकल्ट टू गेट. और उसमें पीएचडीज कर हैं तो अगेन मोर कोर ऑफ कोर, राइट, टॉप ऑफ टॉप. दूसरी चीज ये है कि इट इज now again quant research, as we were discussing, uske do parts ho sakte hain. You can be either supporting the business or you could be supporting the risk function. अब business अगर आप support कर रहे हैं, and business आप कहीं भी support कर रहे हैं in any of the companies, you will be paid higher. उसका reason ये है कि you are generating revenue for the company, right? The company is in business because of what you are doing. Versus अगर आप cost center में हैं, तो कंपनी का काम ऐसे कोई रुक नहीं रहा है, राइट? सो the you are not really making too much money for the company. So I don't know, जैसे कि Wolf of Wall Street हमने देखी, right? And the example that you were giving earlier कि sales जो है, because it's making money for the business, उसकी वजह से business चल रहा है, it's
Yes.
important, it's relevant. And all the quants that are supporting the desks or that are sitting with the business are actually supporting that revenue making or revenue generation for the company. So that's why they are more important, right? They will get a little bit higher chunk of what they produce. So, and everything else, let's say जो कि backend है या cost centers हैं, they are relevant, they're important. They जो कर रहे हैं वो important है, but actually revenue makers take the cake. So this is where you will see a little bit difference between the quant salaries even within the organizations, कि आप कौन सा लेवल पे सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. So definitely, and of course, that example is a little bit outlier, right? ऐसा थोड़ा सा हाइप तो हो ही जाता है कहीं भी, right? So but median, if I would say, technology and finance almost at par. और जो भी आपका इंटरेस्ट है, you should follow that, because you, regardless of wherever you go, if you do well, then you're going to be in the cream of that field.
Absolutely. And जैसे आपने बताया कि research एक ऐसी side है which has like more calculations going, more risk taking into it. तो इस
Yeah.
कारण research, quant research is the job जहाँ पे maximum pay किया जाता है, and then comes the other roles. So it depends on which side you are on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It depends on which side you are on. Quant research, then again, it can be divided into sell side and buy side. So that's a topic for different discussion, right? उसके ऊपर तो एक लंबा discussion हो सकता है कि sell side क्या है, buy side का क्या है, and how do you understand that? So it's a little bit more detailed and a little bit more nuanced conversation. पर हाँ, quant research, quant analyst, quant engineer, similar skill sets are required. And yeah, and you could do well in either of those.
Makes sense. And मैंने जितना सुना है, सिंस दिस जॉब पेज यू अ लॉट एंड डिपेंडिंग ऑन दैट आपके आवर्स भी बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल गोल्डमैन सैक्स में एवरेज आवर्स 12 हैं. हाई ट्रेडिंग फर्म्स में भी पीपल स्टे टिल मिडनाइट समटाइम्स इन द ऑफिस. एंड डू यू थिंक देयर इज वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस इन दिस जॉब? एंड काफी लोग एक साल में ही छोड़ जाते हैं. व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट इट?
So, Harur, yeah, I think the risk is high and the rewards are higher too, right? So ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि आप rewards high चाहिए, but you can't put in the time. So definitely a lot of these roles, I would not say all, but majority of these roles are would require more hours to be put in, and not just doing admin tasks, right? ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ बैठे हुए हैं. They actually require intellectual work for that amount of time, which is 10 to 12 hours to continue to do that. So I think that's a valid, understanding that the hours can be extremely long. But then if you enjoy this field, if you enjoy solving problems through mathematics, through quant, through coding, then you start to like the work that you do. And of course, it will not be like कि हमेशा ही 12 घंटे हैं, but majority of times it's going to be long hours, and sometimes you can relax a little bit, but those times would be a little bit less as compared to when you say you are in technology firm. So in technology firm, I would say it's a little bit less more work-life balance, right? A little bit more work-life balance in technology firms as compared to finance firms, of course. So, or exit ऐसा नहीं है कि people exit very very soon. People who love this field, who hold PhDs and who hold degrees like in quant degrees, they actually love this kind of work. And in order to continue to do that kind of work, वही जगह है, right? So that's the only field that they enjoy doing it. So majority of people, I would say, do not quit, but they continue to grow in the field and continue to work through that field. Sometimes, that's just not a good fit. We understand a lot about it, but when we get there, we realize that this is not for me. It's not something I enjoy on a day-to-day basis. And in those cases, people move out. And of course, given the intersection between the skill sets required between a quant finance or a quant analyst with technology, they get into technology roles, right? And do really, really well in technology roles as well. क्योंकि skill set काफी कुछ same है. And given that data science is everywhere now, वो skill set भी it's common now across both of these fields. So yeah, there are longer working hours. The rewards are higher. Um, you get to learn a lot in a very short span of time, which is the key. मतलब, the growth that you can see in next 5 years of your career if you're a quant analyst versus the growth that you see in your career if you're doing anything else, let's say an SDE role, would be completely different. So that's you grow very quickly, and the exit opportunities again depending on your interest, on your what do you want to do. You can do a lot of different things. Of course, you can go back to technology, do a little bit easier, right? Easier work-life balance, or you could. A lot of people also join consultancies. A lot of people also just start their own thing or start their own businesses. So that's also pretty common.
And क्योंकि this is like a mix of software engineering, data science, and
Yeah,
also research, so आप कहीं पे भी जा सकते हो. So exit
yeah,
strategy is not as difficult. तो काफी लोग अगर किसी को पसंद नहीं आ रही वो जा सकते हैं. And लोग ये भी कहते हैं कि when it comes to research, it's like a marathon. So the hours are also long because you don't have a sense of achievement soon. क्योंकि मैराथन है तो आपको भागते रहना है. So you don't feel like कि यार कि अब खत्म हो गया. And the marathon continues and you don't feel the sense of achievement till the end. इस कारण मुझे लगता है, I believe that could be the reason why the hours could be long for the researchers.
yeah, yeah. So वैसे वो हर जगह रहता है, right? Like even in technology, if you have a big release coming up, तो you are going to be working long hours, of course, right? And the achievement piece would be when you get out with that version 2.0 or that version 3.0. So long stretches हर जगह रहेंगे. Quant research, of course, research is never ending. वो तो आप करते ही जाओ, right? Because things continue to evolve and continue to change so quickly. So that's also one of the factors कि mentally you never switched off. आप एक problem पे काम कर रहे हैं, you come back home, but दिमाग में वही problem पे काम कर रहे हैं, right? So you mentally never switched off. So that's also one of the reasons where people might think कि working hours long है, even when they are back home, that's what is going on in their head.